behind me, joy before me. Power belongs, power belongs to God. Power belongs to God. Nothing too hard for God. Nothing too hard. Power belongs to God. Power belongs to God.
Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings, family. We getting started with the show. Nothing is too hard for our God.
This is the Born of Levi experience on GOCC Media.
Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings, family. Please hit that like button on your way in, brothers and sisters. How many of y'all believe that there's nothing hard for our God? The great I am that I am, Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya. Yes, yes, yes. There's nothing too hard for our God, and his name is Ahaya. Come on, everybody. If y'all believe that, man, put a quam in the chat. Also, if I'm coming in nice and clear, put a quam in the chat for me, please. Do me that favor. We are back. Shalom, peace and blessings. Welcome to the Born of Levi experience here on GOCC Media. I'm your host, Deacon Hazak. And that song was Power Belongs to God from Living Room Praise. Just actually finally put it out as a single. All praises be to the Most High. Right? So that's, give me 1 second. That's actually streaming right now on all major platforms, so you guys could catch it. So much things in the works, but I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy that you guys are here. Thank you guys for putting the qualms in the chat. I see you. Thank you guys for coming in. And quick announcement real quick. This is for those of you guys who's wondering why am I on at this time. I said it before. This is my new streaming schedule, I guess, right now. Coming in at 12 noon, right? Early in the day, get you started with some information, right? And I know you guys see the title of discussion today. You know, we're going to be talking about it. So much recent events, and I just want to touch on them a little bit, but just to give you guys some insight of how are we to move forward for the end, through the end of this year, because it's like everything happened at once, like in one day. I'm gonna talk about it, but like I'm just so excited to go into the topic. Oh man, all praises be to the Most High once again, man. All praise be to the Most High once again for the breath of life, for just being here on this side of existence, because it could be worse, man. We could be on the other side. And like I said, there's so much things going on this earth right now, and we could be caught up in that. But guess what? The Most High has his eyes on the righteous. So all praises be to the Most High for that. Let me clap it up for the Most High when it comes to that. And once again, thank you guys for coming in. Also, man, I really appreciate you guys for coming in. Early start, but we're going to get right into it. You guys see the title. You guys seen what's been going on. But before we do that, make another quick announcement real quick. Oh, wrong screen, but here it is right here. All right. If you guys didn't know, right, the Hebrew and Bible Academy will be starting up again. So if you missed last round, if you missed the last Hebrew and Bible Academy, you missed that session, you could enroll in this upcoming one, right? November 10th, right? November 10th, Sunday, November 10th, we're starting an all new Hebrew and Bible Academy. You don't want to miss out on this, brothers and sisters. So much wealth of information. And the topic of this theme of this academy, you see it right here, is the academy's theme is the fall of the last empire. All right. The fall of the last empire. In-depth lessons on the path of the mark, the path to the mark, the return of the hidden gods. Listen, we're gonna talk about the elders gonna drop it on you, right? Daniel 7, the fall of America. That's a big one. And the fall of the last empire. Brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss this next Hebrew and Bible Academy. Guys, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss out. You don't want to not be involved, not be in the know, because listen, we're living in a time where Bible prophecy is being unfolded. Bible prophecy as we speak is being unfolded, and the world have no answer. None of your top sages, none of your Christian apologetics, right? None of your imams, none of your top Jewish rabbis. Nobody have an answer for what's going on. But guess what? The Most High does. And we're going to be dropping it on you in the next Hebrew and Bible Academy. So, brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss this, right? So please enroll. historytimes.org. historytimes.org. So that way we could get this started. Give me 1 second. My screen is acting crazy over here. All right, I got you. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Interesting start to the month of October. Today is only October what? October 3rd. Interesting start to October. And from right now, we have literally less than 2 months of this so-called year, right? 2024 going into 2025. And man, aren't they trying to end this or trying to end this so-called year with a bang? Literally. They're trying everything in their power to end this so-called year with a bang. And this is the reason why I want to talk about this, and understanding how we are to operate during these times, man. And like I said, all you got to do, brothers and sisters, is refer back to your training. And yes, I'm saying training because we've been training for this. For those of you who's been in this understanding and been in this truth for 10 plus years, 5 plus years, right? This is all part of your training. The Bible was your training. All of them lessons that you came to at the Shabbats was training, was lessons. Now it was depending on how you do when the actual events take place, is going to show if you was actually applying the scriptures or you was just coming and just listening. It's all going to be revealed. Everything will be revealed. So, brothers and sisters, we've been trained for this. And matter of fact, I'm going to start with this. We've been trained for this moment. Matter of fact, we were all handpicked by the Most High to be here on this earth at this point in time. We were all handpicked. So I'm saying all that to say is that this is not for anybody to be fearful, to have doubt, to have disbelief during this time period. And I'm going to show you some scriptures that should help encourage you moving forward, because we see what's happening. We're all living through it. And we're all going to experience the same things. Maybe not on the same level because of the different geographical locations that we're all living in. But we're all going to experience the scourges that is coming upon the earth. But the Most High has a plan for his chosen. And you could only be chosen. Those who are chosen are those who have chosen a side. It should make sense. You could only be chosen if you chose a side. Some people say, or some people feel or say to themselves, like, I'm chosen because I know I'm an Israelite, or I know that I come from the house of Israel. Was that all it takes? Or is that all it takes for someone to be chosen? Or is that choice that you have to draw that line in the sand, isn't it Christ? Well, we're going to talk about it, right? And this is the reason why I want to start off with this. I want to read this with you all. I want to read this with you all just to set the stage as where I'm going with this conversation. And brothers and sisters, if you can, out on your way in, hit that like button. Draw the traffic, right? Because this ain't gonna be a long show. And you know, the elders did such a great job breaking down what we all witnessed October 1st. So I'm in the book of, I just want to read this to preference what I want to talk about, right? Look at this. Let me move my face out the way so you guys can see the scriptures. So in the book of Romans 13, verse 11, it says, and knowing that the time that now it is high time to what? To awake out of sleep. Not yesterday. Not 10 years ago. Now. I'm going to read that again. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. I just want to leave that right there. And I hope that everybody that's watching this and that is hearing the sound of my voice understood what that scripture was speaking about. I pray that you all understand what that scripture just said. Put it right here again for you. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. That's talking about from when you first found this information, when you first believed in Christ, when you first found out that you was from the house of Israel, when you first made the decision to be baptized for the remission of your sins. Your salvation is even nearer than from that point in time. Because every day that passes with you in the truth, we're one day closer to Christ's return. We're one day closer to more prophecies being unfolded. We're one day closer. I hope y'all hearing me. We're closer. So just remember that time period when you first believed, understand that we are closer. So there's no time for you right now to fall back into sleep. And I'm telling you, this world right now is doing everything in their power to rock everyone back to sleep. With the whole Diddy trial. I mean, there was a, let me see if it was still up. For that Diddy trial on YouTube, he had his own segment. Let me see something. I just want to try to show y'all real quick. Like you see up here, where you could scroll through, there was a section. I think they just recently moved it. There was a section that was just titled Diddy, but it's no longer here. They must have moved it. All right. It was a whole section up here. He had his own section titled Diddy. Like why is that even news? Why should that even be news? But understand that this world is designed to keep us all asleep. It's designed for it. But blessed are your eyes because you can see, and blessed are your ears because you can hear. Brothers and sisters, just think about it. Look at all of the people throughout the four corners of the earth. And amongst those people that is on the earth, the Most High has chosen you to know his son. The Most High has chosen you to know this information. The Most High has chosen you to see what's going on and to operate accordingly. There's a lot of people right now who are scared. There's a lot of people right now who are confused. There's a lot of people right now who thought that they was gonna end their life in a nice retirement with a big old house and white picket fence, see their children go off to college, and that may not be the reality for any of us that's watching the stream right now. Our reality is day by day. I just want you guys to understand that. That's our reality. Our reality is actually day by day. Not saying that no one can plan, but you got to understand that our reality is really day by day. The book of James tells us that. Let me pull that up real quick. As I'm talking to y'all, the scriptures is just popping up in my mind, but I just want to confirm that with you guys. Let me go to the book of James real quick. Why is it not pulling? All right, James. I'm in the book of... Give me 1 second. My computer's acting crazy. Okay. So, right here. In the book of James 4 and 13, right? Look what it says here. It says, "Go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city, and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow." So this is why I said what I said. Our reality is literally day by day. It says, "For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away." Y'all get that, right? It's like a mist of air. That's how our life is compared to. "For ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or do that. But now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil." Right? So literally, we have to treat this existence, treat this world day by day. And like I said, I'm in no case saying not to plan. That would be foolish of me to tell you not to plan. We have plenty of examples in the scriptures where our forefathers made a plan to escape famine, to escape evil, right? So when I say our reality is day by day, is just go to work every day. Go to your jobs, right? That pension that's there, you may not even be able to touch it. Don't bank on that pension. Don't bank on that 401k. Don't bank on Social Security. At the rate we're going, we may not even have no Social Security by the time we get to Social Security age. Some of us. I know for me. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. That's like to cry over money that you never had. It's kind of insane. Like, you never even had it, so why would you care? Why do you eat? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be upset about money that I never had in my hand. Right? These are the things that the Gentiles seek after. If we get it, all praise be to the Most High. It is a blessing. If we don't get it, still all praise be to the Most High still. So our reality is literally day by day. And I'm saying that because we all woke up October 1st not knowing what was these things were going to happen. Excuse me. There was some warning signs, of course, as always, but for some people would just woke up and was blindsided by all of this news. Like yesterday I had a coworker. Matter of fact, let's go right into that. I had a coworker that I was talking to, and he had absolutely no clue. Am I lagging? All right. I think I am lagging. I do apologize for the lag. I'm noticing that I'm lagging for some reason, but all right. But I was talking to my coworker. I was talking to one of my coworkers yesterday, and he had no clue that this was happening. You guys can see it on your screen, right? He had no clue that this was happening. I'm trying to figure out why am I lagging. 1 second, because I see the lag, so I just want to make sure you guys have a clean stream. Oh, okay. I'm hearing that. I'm good. All right. Maybe it's just me, because I see it says excellent connection here. But all right. Anyways, yeah. So I was talking to my coworker, and it's funny because some people are just oblivious to what's going on in this world. Like, so some people are just really so self-absorbed in what they got going on, which is how they actually designed it. They've actually designed this world to be like this, for us to be so inundated into getting things done, the work week, our children, schooling. All of these things are put in place to keep us rapidly on the go, especially if you live in New York City. Like, if you live in New York City, you're always going to be on the go. Like, it's never a dull moment in New York City, right? But he didn't even know that the U.S. dock workers strike was going on. So it says, this article says, U.S. dock workers strike, halting half of the nation's ocean shipping. This is major news, brothers and sisters. Like, this is not like something that's like hearsay or conspiracy. Like, you know, there's a lot of videos out there where people saying, like, you know, and that's one thing. I hate those kind of videos with like the fear mongering titles. You got to be careful because you're next. Like, why would you put that title and then you wait and nothing actually happens? But this is not fear mongering news. This is actually taking place right now. This is actual news. This is really happening right now. I can physically see this going on. Right? It says the ILA strike is the first such action by the union since 1977. And this is a strong union, a very strong union. And like I said, this happened October 1st. So it says U.S. Let me see if I could enlarge it, because I know it's probably tiny on your screen. If it's tiny on my screen, it's definitely tiny on your screen. Let me see if I can enlarge it. Give me 1 second. So I'll read it in the meantime. It says, all right, here we go. Much better. Should be better now. Yeah, here it goes. I know it was tiny. It says New York. It says U.S. East Coast and Gulf Coast dock workers begin their first large-scale strike in nearly 50 years on Tuesday, halting the flow of about half of the country's ocean shipping after negotiations for a new labor contract broke down over wages. So this is huge news, brothers and sisters. This is not some small little thing that's going on. So it says, get this out the way. It says, how much do port workers make? A look at the salaries amid an ongoing port strike. So let me read this real quick. It says members of the International Longshoremen's Association, representing 10,000s of workers across the Atlantic and Gulf Coast, went on strike at 12:01 a.m. on October 1st. The strike followed a union rejection of a final proposal for United States Maritime Alliance. So they was due for a new contract, right? With the new contracts always come with pay negotiations, pay increases, and some of you may think that it's about greed, but on whose end, right? and it gives a breakdown of what they make and what they're actually looking for. It says, why is this strike happening? One of the key reasons behind the current strike is the wage disparity between East Coast dock workers and their West Coast counterparts. So same union, but one side is getting a better contract than the other side. I wonder why is that? East Coast, West Coast thing. I'm still trying to understand why. I mean, we're all trying to survive. But anyways, it says the ILA workers earn significantly less. According to the contract that expired on Monday, ILA dock workers started at $20 per hour. And these people are operating $1 million machines that's carrying hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions in products daily, and only making $20 per hour, starting with pay raising to $24 after 2 years and $31.90 after 3 years, and capping at $39 at the 6-year mark. So it will take them 6 years to make $39 an hour. But look how much labor they are going to get before, or they're going to have to do before they receive that increase. It says the ILA is now demanding, listen to this, y'all. The ILA is demanding a 77% wage increase. This is crazy. But is it really crazy though? I'm going to play a video and I'm going to try to break it down just a little bit, right? If time permits. But it says they're demanding, because I'm just going through this just in case if some of you guys don't know what's really happening, like what's the infighting about. So it says the ILA is now demanding a 77% wage increase over the duration of the new contract. Listen to this, y'all, with a $5 raise each year. Can you imagine your job, your current job right now, giving you a $5 raise every single year? A lot of us wouldn't complain. We'd be like, yo, I'll take that $5. You kidding me? It says under their proposal, workers would earn $44 per hour in the first year, $49 in the second year, and up to $69 by the final year. The U.S. Maritime Alliance offered a nearly 50% increase, which the ILA rejected. So they rejected this. Right? So now everything stops. And a part of me is still on the fence, but not really on the fence. Like, how convenient for them to go on strike on that particular day. And on that day, we noticed that something else happened as well too. I'll show it real quick. Right? We noticed that something else also happened on that day. Iran launches about 180 ballistic missiles at Israel. Look at that. An elder went into this and he painted the picture so well. And when I seen this image as well myself, I could only think of one prophecy. When Prophet Ezra was shown this in a vision. Don't this look like stars in the sky? And people want to say that the Bible is not real. Prophet Esdras received the vision of this happening centuries ago. And now it is playing out in our day and time. And brothers and sisters, I'm saying this to say, don't argue with nobody when it comes to this truth, when it comes to the Bible. If you don't want to believe, don't believe. That's on you. But we seeing real-time things happening, real-time prophecies happening. Look at this. This is not made up. This is real. This is happening. This is real events. And when did this happen? Published October 1st. Like, how convenient that these things happening on the same day. Or is it the Most High sending signs? Is it the Most High sending signs? So we seeing how things are gearing up. And guess what? Elections is like literally next month. Are they trying to throw something in the mix? pre-COVID? Like, are we going back to the COVID era? Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to show this video as well. And the reason why I wanted to show this video, because I wanted you guys to understand something. Where are you? Let me show you this, guys. Let me show you this video. Okay, no, I don't know what you talking about. Let me show you this video. Okay. And speaking of their the strike, because this strike, believe it or not, is affecting all of us. Like, Costco's don't even have water anymore. My wife just went to what was that, ShopRite. They had no more water bottles. Done, gone. And guess what? Water and paper gone off the shelves. Why? My thing is, like, why is it always water and paper? Like, why is those the two main things that be gone first? Like, but this strike is going to affect a lot of us, and we in day, like, this is day 2 now. It's they and they're not budging. Like, they came to them, and we just read in the article. They was like, "Yo, we'll give you a 50% increase." They was like, "No." And I heard they even came back and was like, "Yo, we'll give you a 60% increase." Nah, we want 77%. And after watching this video, a conversation with Harold J. Daggett, Harold J. Daggett, he's actually the president of the ILA, of this union. And listening to him speak, I'm like, yo, I wish he was my union president. But, you know, as far as when it comes to, my, working. But for all my Super Brews, Yeshaya for president. We all know that for a fact. But let's listen to this conversation. Now, I want you guys to hear the passion in his voice, but I want you guys to also understand that understand the power that we have as really the people. And this also showed me that there's a state of sleep that people were in, and now people are starting to wise up and be like, nah, we're not taking less than minimum anymore. Like the people in this world are tired. We're not the only ones that's tired, y'all. Like, of course, we have a lot to be tired for. We have a lot to complain about, if we was to complain, when it comes to these working conditions, when it comes to our living conditions, when it comes to our schooling, our education, our food. We have the right to complain as a people. But it's like the whole world is being affected now. Not just blacks and Hispanics anymore. It's the world.
I find it fascinating. I believe you said you joined in 1967.
Yes.
You must have an incredibly unique perspective on how the industry changed in those years. You came on before containerization, and you were a young guy and in the family of this industry. How, if you could do a 50,000 foot view of how you've seen it change, what is it to you?
I can tell you.
So apparently he's seen the company change from its inception. So if anybody could know what's going on, he would know. And this is the reason why he has such a hard stance on that new contract. So listen clearly.
It changed a lot. I can tell you, back in the 60s, the first company that started in containerization was Sealand. Two truck drivers, Malcolm McLean, Cecil Yeagers, got together and said, we're taking cargo up and down the East Coast. Why don't we get a ship, put the cargo on a ship, and go up and down the East Coast? They weren't even thinking about over Europe, none of that. They wanted to try to catch a trucking company to put it on a ship and bring it up here, put it on a ship and bring it. Everywhere you go in the world, you'll see those cranes. You heard me. Where the changes started, we always went for a 3-year contract. When my father, when I was a young kid, we went on strike for 25 cents. 25 cents. We went on strike in 1977 for 3 months for 80 cents. Fast forward.
And I didn't even know that. In 1977, they went on strike for 3 months. So can you imagine what the economy looked like for 3 months? Them going on strikes?
Back then, the companies were lucky they made millions of dollars, 10 million, 5 million. Today, they make billions and billions of dollars.
So y'all hear that, right? Back then, they were lucky if they made millions. But he's saying in this day and age, these companies are actually making billions. So they're making billions off of the back of the laborers, but they're not really compensating the laborers for their efforts. And we all experience that. We all are a part of these corporations, and we go to work for them, and we see what we do for that company. And it's like us as the employees, it almost feels like we're underappreciated. Like when you first applying for a job, you're like, okay, the pay is decent. And then you get on the job and you look at all of the things that you actually really have to deal with. You're like, nah, I should be making more than this. I shouldn't be having to put up with what I'm putting up with for this amount of money. Right? But he said that the company now is making billions.
They make, MSC is the richest shipping company in the world, made 3 times the money than Amazon. A lot of money, right? Billions. Well, one of the companies, and I won't mention his name, he took himself the Christmas bonus, $4 billion. He took it out for him and his family, $4 billion. A French company, I won't mention their name, they gave all their employees 50 months salary as a Christmas gift. Now, look at that money. They have so much money, they don't even know what to do with it.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that, y'all? A company in France had so much of a surplus, they gave their employees 50 months salary as a bonus. Can you imagine what you could do with that type of money for your family? Can you imagine oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Hold on real quick. I don't know if y'all understand what's going on. The employees made that company so much money that they were able to incentivize the employees with 50 months of salary as a Christmas bonus. Now, what job or what company you know in this day and age that's doing that today? Would your company do that for you? Would your company? I know my company wouldn't do that. What? Are you kidding me? And this is just one little thing that he's talking about. But
they know they're building up terminals. They want to go automation. They want more money now. Get rid of these men. We don't need them no more.
Kim Wiggins already calculated. She said that's 4 years and 2 months. Yeah. You get a bonus. You get an advance for 4 years, and guess what? You still getting paid on top of that when you come into work the next day and the next year, but you already got in a bonus. Like, come on.
A big change going on. I've been fighting automation for years. They destroyed LA.
You see, and that's another thing that they're fighting against that they're not really talking about as well too. They're fighting against automation. What is automation? Robotics, AI. AI is actually taking a lot of these jobs away, jobs that we would be able to do, right? AI is taking those positions. And I spoke about it before on this channel. I did a broadcast some time back called AI, Will You Be Replaced? And that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to replace a lot of the manual labor jobs that we actually do with our hands with robots. I think in the US right now, there's 2 fully automated McDonald's where there's no people working there. It's just straight robots. They flipping the burgers, they taking your money, they're bringing your order for you. Right? And that's another thing that they want in the contract too. They don't want automation. Jobs where a man would come and use the crane to move the shipping crates, they should be able to do that. They're taking jobs from them. And he's been there long enough, so he's seeing the changes.
They put a fully automated terminal at the Maersk line. 800 longshoremen lost their jobs. If it was up to them, they would like to see everybody lose their jobs.
He said 800 people lost their jobs because of automation. That is insane.
Tell you, it's not just in the longshore. They got ships in Europe that they're building. They got one now, runs on a battery, container ship. No crew. Somebody in an office building runs it. Goes out, goes in. They don't want anybody. They don't want to pay anybody. It's not only this union, it's in every union in every aspect. If they keep putting machinery to take our jobs, who's going to pay the income tax? Machines are not. Who's going to pay for the military, the roads? Everything runs by taxes.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Y'all heard what he said? If they're putting these robots to take jobs that we usually do, who's going to pay the taxes? You can't tax a robot, but you tax the employees. So take a look at it like this. If a country is not getting funded by its individuals through taxes, what is that telling you about the economy or the economy of that particular nation? They're going belly up. Because if I don't have no employees to fund the government, how is this country actually getting funding? That's another thing that we're not even looking at as well too. Could they be letting us know, or those who are in the know, like, yo, don't worry about it. This place ain't gonna be here too long, so we don't really need workers. Think about that. He made a valid, you see, and that's something that I didn't even think about. You're replacing all of our jobs with robots. Who's paying the taxes? How is the government collecting income tax, collecting money? How is the country running?
Take Easy Pass. The first time they come out with Easy Pass, one lane, and cars were going through and everybody's sitting in their car and go, what's that all about? I'm going to get one of them. Today, all those union jobs are gone, and it's all Easy Pass. People don't realize it. Everybody's got 3 cars. Everybody got an Easy Pass on the window. And they go through like it's nothing. And they get billed in the mail. They didn't care about that union worker working in the booth. You go in a store today, it's self-checking. They don't need anybody to check out no more. Someone has to get into Congress and say, whoa, time out. This world is going too fast for us. Machines got to stop. Yes, we're getting smart kids out of MIT and all these places. Yeah, they're all brilliant. But what good is it if you're going to put people out of work?
You see, so he could see what we be talking about, but of course he could see it more. He have the time. He have the experience. He's been around. He's seen it, and he's seen the change from the old school to this new AI phenomenon. So he's seeing it, and he was like, "Yo, somebody got to take a stance." And I think he's the one who's doing that right now. He's taking a stance, like, "Yo, y'all got to stop doing what y'all doing." But at the end of the day, it's actually inevitable. Like a lot of the things that we're seeing take place on this world right now, it has to come to pass. I mean, right now, all you could do is slow it up for a little bit, but you're not, like, nobody really has the power to really stop what they got in place. No one is going to be able to stop that. But he could see it.
Who's going to support their families? Machines? Machines don't have families. You got to draw the line. These companies that work in the maritime business come from overseas. Not one of them belongs to America.
Wow.
They want to come into.
You see that? You hear what he said? He said all of them companies in the Maritime Alliance, none of them come from America. They're all from overseas. So it's as if they're just sending the people from overseas to finish this place and then send them back home when the work is done. This is why they don't care about paying Americans what, our fair due. They don't care because they're not from here. They don't care about this economy. They don't care about the sustainability of this place. They could care less. But he can see that and he's exposing that. So it's deeper than just a strike. It's really making a stance and showing them like, yo, not everybody's asleep. It takes courage to do what he's doing.
To America and build fully automated terminals and get rid of American jobs. Good paying jobs that support families with medical, pensions, annuities, and pay taxes.
See that?
They want to get rid of them.
They want to get rid of all of that.
Where's the president of the United States? He's not fighting for us.
You hear that? So like I said, this is deeper than just a strike. This is really having your voice heard. This is what he's doing. He said, he asked a question because no one is asking this. Where is the president of the United States? He said he don't care about us. So if the president don't care about us, who's supposed to care about us, y'all? And the only scripture that's coming to my mind right now, listening to him, is saying, "Oh, gather together, O nation not desired." It's as if the Most High is using these people to show us what we need to be doing, how we need to look at this whole thing and be like, all right, you know what? What are we doing? Because it's clear. Now the Gentiles even can see this country don't even care about them. That's crazy. And for a lot of these nations, where are they gonna go? America's all they know. There's no hope in anything else for these people. So they have to fight for this. This is all they have left.
He told in L.A., he told the union, hurry up and get a contract. That's the mentality they have. They don't even know what the hell they're doing today. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to save everybody's job when it comes to the ILA and to all the unions around the world, because we're going to fight with that alliance.
You hear what he said? All the unions. It's like he's trying to galvanize not just his union, but all of the unions worldwide. Because if all of the workers of this world stop just working, what would be their next choice? And this is just showing how much power we actually have if we stick together on one ideology, on one mission, one plan. And he could see that vision. But of course it's going to get stopped. They're going to come to some kind of agreement, hopefully. But in 1977, it took them 3 months for them to get a contract back for these guys. So we'll see what's going to happen now. And a lot of people don't even understand this as well, too, that the president, Mr. Biden, what he could do, he could put a tariff on this particular union. And what that would do is make them go back to work for at least 90 days. So it would be a cool down period of 90 days, which is 3 months, and they will go back to work. But I'll let him tell it. But within that cool down period, it doesn't guarantee that production will go back to 100%. They could slow everything down 30%. And he said it in this interview. He said, well, in an hour we would probably move 30 containers. We'll slow that down to about 8 containers per hour. So he know what he's doing. He's not a novice. He's been around.
I'll shut them down throughout the world to prove that we can beat them.
You see that? And these are the kind of people that the powers that be don't like. The free thinkers, the people who's not gonna stand for the nonsense. And this is why I said we all are suffering on the earth. We all need Christ. We all need that salvation. And understand that our salvation is nearer. So when we see these things happening, nation against nation, right? We seeing the infighting. And it's like the rest of the world is actually laughing at America. Americans right now, like we're like the laughing stock. Like no one taking us serious right now because of what's happening, what they're allowing to happen. But it's by design though.
So, yes, your answer is we came a long way. We came along so advanced that technology is mind-boggling. We never had cameras on the piers. They got a camera in every pole. They got cameras they want to put in the trucks to watch the driver driving. What is this, Big Brother? I'm against all that.
But the thing is, they're doing that in every job now. It's like these companies do this like to look for reasons to try to fire you or take money from you, give you days in the street. It's happened in my job. It's happening everywhere. So there is an effort to stop what's going on amongst Americans, stopping us from progressing, whatever it is, putting tight holes on the people, whatever it is. He's against all of that.
I'm against that. A man can't even breathe without a camera looking at him. That's not right.
What about, there certainly must be, since 1967, elements of technology that have been good for the industry.
Technology that's been good for the industry.
Let me fast forward because this is a 17-minute interview. I advise you guys should watch it. Just listen to him. Like he makes a lot of good, valid points, and this gives us a little bit more insight as to why they're actually doing this strike. Why they're actually, you understand? Why this is actually happening? But it's all part of prophecy as well too. Hold on, let me see. Let me go.
If you look now, we have ships that are being built by these companies. Check this out. That whole 22,000 containers.
Listen to this.
It's a floating city. They had to take the Bayonne Bridge and raise it way up here so the ships could go under it to get in here to unload them. 22,000 containers. It's amazing how we came from the first ship with just a small amount of containers, 25, 50 boxes on them. So look at the future now. Look at the future in money. They went from millions of dollars to billions and billions of dollars. So the world is going by real quick.
Is it safe to say that you're not against technology for efficiencies, but you're person first, people first, like protecting jobs and families while embracing technology to keep the workflow efficient?
Let me explain a little bit about this. The first cranes that went up with diesel engines up there. As time went on, they got rid.
There was a part that I want to get to that where he was talking about during COVID. Let me see if I can get
boxes. When a guy had a high-low with double bell, 2 stacks of steel, he should have been riding in reverse. He was looking through the bundles, knocked it down. He didn't even see it. Dragged her under the high-low in front of her son, ripped her apart and killed her. It happens. It happens down here all the time. I had 2 guys killed right in front of me. It happens. We have a group in our local 1804 days called the Lashes. The most dangerous job on the waterfront. When they put the containers on top of the hatch covers, all the way up high, you see them in the container ship, they got to be all lashed down in case the storm and the seas are real rough. The ship is doing this and this. If they're not lashed down right, those containers are going to go over into the ocean and sink.
Right.
Millions of dollars of cargo sunk. So what? My men got to go out there. It's 0 degrees. There's ice on top of the container. It's freezing with metal bars and hooks, safety lines on them, way up high, and they got to put them down tight, get up on the box, slide on the ice up on top. Completely dangerous. That's in the north. In the south, it could be 95, 105 degrees. Soaking wet down there. They got a guy that goes around, they call him the water boy, giving water to the men so they don't dehydrate. Or the ones that work in the hull of the ship, they get water. It's different elements. You have us here in the north, Canada. You have from Virginia down all the way to Houston. Hot. Florida, everything's hot. Different elements. Dangerous job. We've had 17 people killed in the last 3 years.
Oh, man.
That's 17 people that didn't come home. We just had a kid killed in Houston. Young kid, a big roll of paper, weighed a ton, rolled off on top of him, killed him. That's why I fight. I fight for jurisdiction. I fight for safety. I fight for these to be compensated with good salaries.
Listen to this.
These companies are making billions of dollars. They should take us along. We brought them to where they are. Now they want to get rid of us? That's not fair. Not fair at all. And this union's been around close to 200 years. So you could...
You see that? He says it's not fair. The only reason why these companies could make billions of dollars is because of men like him. People like us who's working the jobs that they don't want to work. And now the thank you that these people are getting is, all right, we don't need you. Thank you for your service. We got robots now to do what you can do. It's kind of insane.
See why I'm always fighting.
Why do you think you haven't had to strike since then?
Because you had leaders like me, and the companies got smart and said, we don't want to go through another 3 months strike. Let's negotiate.
Part where he's talking about
Into the future, from Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas, everybody went to work during COVID.
Yeah, right here.
Nobody stayed home.
This is what I wanted to
The
get.
virus, we all got sick with the virus.
Listen to this, y'all.
I want a piece of that for my men, because when they made it was a lot of money compared to 80 cents for 3 months.
This is
So
the
we
last part.
negotiated in good faith. We went with 6-year contracts. And we got $1 raise, $1.50 raise for 6 years. It was great. It was a lot of money compared to 80 cents for 3 months. But today's world, it's changing into the future. They're not making millions no more. They're making billions. And they're spending it fast as they make it. I want a piece of that for my men, because when they made their most money was during COVID. When my men had to go to work on those piers every single day, when everybody stayed home and went to work. Not my men. They died out there with the virus. We all got sick with the virus. We kept them going. From Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas, everybody went to work during COVID. Nobody stayed home. Well, I want to be compensated for that. I'm not asking for the world. They know what I want.
They know what I want.
They know what I want. And if they don't, well, then I have to go into the street and we have to fight for what we rightfully deserve.
So I wanted to play that to show y'all both sides of what's going on, because the media will tell you their side of what's going on, but this is where it's actually coming from. And a lot of us who have jobs that are essential to the city that you live in, like especially me for myself, I worked through COVID. I didn't get no days off. I had to work through that, and I didn't get compensated. There was certain companies that were getting what's called hazard pay. My company, we didn't get none of that. The federal government did give a stipend to the employers or to the companies for for COVID, title it as hazard pay, but that never came to any of the employees. My union didn't fight for none of that, but here he is, he's fighting for that, and he's letting it be known, like, because brothers and sisters, think about it. Without these people, none of us will be able to get anything that we see on these stores, on the shelves. So it's because of their effort why we have what we can purchase in these stores. And one thing that came to my mind, I'll come back to this video, because like I said, this video, if this video wasn't inspiring to you or to anybody who's seen him speak, and mind you, he did this interview 3 weeks before the strike. So this was in the books. They planned this already, like, and they already knew that the contract, there was up for a contract and they weren't willing to negotiate. So this was 3 weeks ago that this conversation happened. And what come to mind, and just thinking about everything that took place October 1st, the strike, the longshoremen's port strike with the dock workers, October 1st, Iran striking Israel, October 1st, and also I didn't speak about this yet, but this on the screen, I'll put it on the screen real quick so you guys could see as well too what happened in Asheville, North Carolina with the flooding, right? And it's crazy because the media is not really covering this. It's like they're trying to keep it low, but it was some massive flooding that happened in North Carolina. So, my thoughts and prayers goes out to all of the family out there. And I know that even some people in parts of Georgia got affected by this as well too. I know our sister out there with the officer who got affected, and they have that beautiful homestead, humble homestead, right? You can follow them on Instagram. They got affected out there, and I think everything is better now. I think they have lights now, I believe, but they were affected by this storm. So, latest news on the Asheville flooding, everything to know about what's happening in West North Carolina. And this happened when? October 1st. So like these three major events happened on the same day. And I'm not gonna say that this was orchestrated. And even if it was orchestrated by the hands of man, the Most High is allowing it to happen. So I'm taking those three events as signs from the Most High, because this is what came to my mind also when I was analyzing what was going on in this. And this shows me that the Most High, when he says something, he will actually show you that it's possible. I can do what I'm saying I'm going to do. Right? Look at this. I'm in the book of Revelations. Look, this scripture came to my mind. I'm going to share it with you all. Revelations 17. Look at this. Well, I'm gonna start at verse. We'll start at verse 15. It says, "The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her," and this is exactly what he was talking about. How these companies, and first of all, we understand they're not American companies. These are companies from overseas that's coming over here and making money off of this place. This is why they don't care about the people of this place. It's all prophecy. I was even looking at that on that scale, and he was dropping it, but we can confirm it with scripture. He said that these companies there, which is not from America, they're from overseas, they're making billions. And they're not compensating their workers, which is insane, which is not fair. But Revelations 18 and 15, it says, "The merchants of these things, which may..." Wait, let me start up. No, I'll start here. It says, "And the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her," they were made rich by Americans, by America, "shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing." So there's going to be a time where they're not going to be able to even make negotiations for pay, because they're not going to be able to make no money from this place anymore, because what the Most High is going to do to her. But the Most High is showing us, he's just giving us a glimpse like, yo, y'all keep playing with me. I'm showing y'all this is coming to pass. Look at this. Look at verse 16. It says, "And saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls." Listen, this is what came in my mind when all those three events happened at the same time. It said, "For in 1 hour, so great riches came to naught, and every ship master and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. And this came to my mind to show that, yo, literally the Most High could make it happen in 1 hour. I mean, we seen what happened with the dock workers. You know, that scripture was pertaining to them and the riches that they're making. But, you know, once the Most High fully unleash wrath on this place, then they'll understand, like, yo, this place is done. But reading that scripture made me realize, like, yo, the Most High could, what he said in those scriptures, he could do it whenever he feel like it. And I believe he did, like, he orchestrated that. The Most High allowed those events to happen all October 1st to give us insight, to let us know, like, yo, remember what the scripture said. In 1 hour, I can do this. Literally, the Most High could bring this whole thing down in an hour. 3 events in 1 day. So it's not far-fetched. When the scripture says something can happen, it could happen that way. I'm like, yo, this is like, you can't make this stuff up even if you tried. Even if you tried, you couldn't make this stuff up. Let me go back to this. Even if you tried. And brothers and sisters, continue to hit that like button on your way in. Continue. Let me show y'all. Let me show you the rest of this. This part, I love this part of the interview. That's why I want to show this.
Coming in. Well, you know, if there was an explosion on a ship, maybe I can get the money. Listen, you're supposed to be.
Well, this is when he was talking about what Joe Biden told him. He actually spoke to Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was like, "Yo, we got the, like, when that bridge went down in Baltimore, Joe Biden was like, "Yo, we got the money to fix the bridge." And he looked at Joe Biden, he was like, "Yo, okay, that's good, but what about my men? I got 900 men that's laid off right now. You don't have anything for them?" He's like, "Well, we don't got it. I'm gonna fix the bridge, but these men are not working." So, like, to go to show you, this is why he could say what he could say, because he experienced it from the horse's mouth. Like, he knows that these people do not care about us. But okay.
Plus, they were allowed to go to unemployment.
And all the ships were just.
Guys who sell cars can't sell cars. What's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week,
Hold on.
be all.
Right here.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship.
Y'all hear that?
They go out of business.
Revelations 18 right there. He said everything that comes into the U.S. comes through a ship. That Revelation 18 shouldn't be slept on. It's like the Most High is actually giving us a glimpse as to how that's gonna happen. And it's profound. It's actually profound that the Most High highlighted them in Revelations 18. Christ highlighted them. Let me just, I'm gonna come back to the video again, but I'm just blown away. Right? Look. Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The main source of merchandise coming into the country is through the ships. And it's profound that the Most High, that Christ pointed out how the economy will get affected, how the takedown of this place would happen, and we're seeing a glimpse of that. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls, linen, all of these things, They all come from the ships. Wood, brass, and iron, marble, and cinnamon. Look at this. The merchant of these things, verse 15, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off in fear of her torment and weeping and wailing. Verse 17, for in one hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the companies and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. So we're getting a glimpse, right? We're getting a glimpse of this takedown. We're literally getting a glimpse of it. Let me go back to the video now. We're getting a glimpse. All right, let's go back to this.
Business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in.
You see that? It's like the Most High put a spirit on him to say this. That's what I'm saying. This is deeper than what a lot of us think. It's like the Most High put it. We just read that in Revelations 18. You see, the steel is not coming in. The lumber is not coming in. We just read that.
They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are.
See?
Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you. And you have no idea what that means.
He said you have no idea what that means. So the Most High has given us a glimpse of how this thing could happen. So now what does this mean for us? How are we supposed to maneuver with this? This is no time for us to be rocked back to sleep. And we know there's a lot of people, and look, I'm telling you right now, this Shabbat, classes is going to be packed. And I'm already putting it out there. From this strike that just happened, Iran hitting Israel, prophecies being unfolded, the flooding, watch. And my outcry to those of you guys who's coming, don't just come to see what's happening. Remain. Stay put. You shouldn't let a little disaster, a little shaking up make you feel like, oh, I got to get myself right now. You should have always been having yourself right, because we all fighting. We all in the same turmoil. We're all struggling. So what makes me different from you? Everybody got to have what's called resilience. You got to be resilient. That's what it calls for. Because you know why? They're doing everything in their power to keep us in a stupor, to keep us in a standstill. And this is why I said we cannot afford to go back to sleep. I didn't go there. Right here. I want to show you this. And I had no clue that this was a cartoon that came out 2 years ago. But let's take a look. I'm throwing this in there. I'm just throwing this in there because I want you guys to see, while all this is happening, Satan is still working in the background.
Mom, get it? Your dad is the devil and you are the Antichrist.
Your dad is the devil and you are the Antichrist? This is a cartoon. And mind you, I found out too that these are the same creators behind Mickey Mouse Clubhouse are the same creators behind this foolishness.
I'm supposed to accept that you had sex with Satan or anyone?
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Come to your father, Damien. Oh, you're a girl. The future is female.
Where have you been?
The metaphysical realm.
When we dated, were you inside someone's corpse?
You had an unfinished dolphin tattoo. Don't be a snob.
She says I lied to protect you.
She sounds like a bitch.
That's what I said.
Hey, look at me. I'm bad grandma.
What do you make of this thing? Biblical or the media? You keep doing what your dad's doing, that evil will spread in you, and you'll be a soulless shell of a human and become, honestly, like a successful CEO in all likelihood.
Little Demon. Little Demon. What's happening in the world? We have shows like Little Demon out there showing the child, the manifestation of a child between Satan and some random lady, and they bring forth Satan's child, and they put it in the form of a cartoon, because who are they looking to target? You put it in a cartoon. Children, right? Teens. Little Demon, y'all. This is why I said we cannot afford to be rocked back to sleep. Little Demon. Can y'all? Yeah. What? Like, I would have never thought that I would be living in a time period where Satan would be glorified. Like, it's almost insane to me. And for there to be little to no pushback when shows like this come out, like this cartoon, Little Demon, and when they actually had a whole series after Satan called Lucifer, and they depicted him as a misunderstood character. He was misunderstood by God, and he just wants to be back home with his dad, and you had a show called Lucifer. You got this show called Little Demon. Like, no pushback. I never thought that we would be living in a time where Satan would be glorified, where Satan would be magnified to this extent. I mean, at this point in time, they might as well roll out their God. Like, who else are you serving? You're not serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're not serving the God of the Bible. So you might as well roll out who your God is. And the fact that people are not pushing back, it's actually showing the powers that be where we at with the people on the earth. What are they willing to accept? When there's no pushback, they're like, all right, we know that we know that the people are primed to accept anything that we give them now. COVID was one of the main testing grounds. Yeah, just put the mask on. To this day, people are still walking around with masks on. And we about to be 5 years since that happened. 5 years ago, that happened. People still walking around with masks on, making sure they masked up before they go into certain buildings. I'll just be looking at them like, they got you. They got you. So this is where we at. This is where we are, brothers and sisters. Let me read this. So now, what does it mean for us? Is there something else I want to pull up? Was there something else that I wanted to pull up? All right, so now that's it on that. Let me do this now. So what did this mean for us? Showing like how the Most High really literally showed us that he could make this thing end in an hour. He not playing. Like it gotta be unusual. Like for those who are watching the news, to see these three major events, and it's probably way more that happened that we probably not even privy to, but these three main events take place on the earth and don't make anybody question what's happening. And it's to the point where, like I said, I was talking to my coworker. We like three of us was talking, and one of my coworkers had no clue of what was going on. Like I'm looking at him like, don't you understand that this is gonna affect you? He's just operating, just working. I'm like, yo, you heard about the strike? No, what's that? And I'm looking at, I'm like, yo, you all right? He's like, oh, I mean, he said, I mean, I seen something about the strike, but I didn't know what was going. This is gonna affect us, all of us in this East Coast area. So we can't allow this world to rock us to sleep. We can't. Let me read this to y'all. How do we make it through the rest of this year and moving forward? How do we make it through? Look at this. I'm in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. Let me get my face out the way so that way you guys can see me or see the scriptures, not me. 2nd Esdras 16 and 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, listen clearly. The days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So the Most High is relaying this message to those that he love. Okay? And he's telling those that he love, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. And brothers and sisters, let me also say this as well. Do you guys know that there is a judgment for the fearful? A lot of people don't even know that. The fearful will not make it in. Because what is the opposite of fear? Faith. What is the opposite of fear? It's faith. It says faith, without it, it is impossible to what? To please the Most High. So the opposite of faith is what? Fear. So that means there is a judgment for the fearful. It tells you that in the book of Revelations. For the fearful and the unbelieving and all liars will have their part in the lake of fire. That's what it tells you in the book of Revelations. I'm not just saying this out of nowhere. So there's a reason why the Most High is saying, be not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide. Let me continue. And what? And the guide of them who keep what? My commandments. So these are those who he will be guiding. And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God. Hear this now. Let not your sins weigh you down. These are the people who are reluctant in staying in their sin. You know you're dealing with something, but you refuse to change that. And you're making excuses. The Most High is not your guide. You will not be guided during this time. We all have the free will to make that choice. We all have that free will to be like, you know what? I need to change. It's only you stopping yourself. He said, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and are covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over like bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. Y'all see that? So it's crystal clear how we are supposed to be approaching the rest of this year and moving forward. What else are you going to do? The main thing is not to fear. It's nothing to fear. Seeing these prophecies unfolding is understanding that our salvation is nearer than when we first believe. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back there and read that again. I have to, because there was more in there that I wanted to read, but I purposely did that to save it for the end of the broadcast, or towards the end. I'm in the wrong book. 1 second. Right, here we go. So it reads here, knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. It is closer. We are close to the finish line. Anybody who's close to the finish line, don't say, all right, let me slow down just a little bit. Or matter of fact, let me turn back and go in reverse. Like think about it, y'all. Y'all ever seen anybody in a race go in reverse? That's what you look like when you go back into the world. You're racing a race to win a prize, but then you start running in reverse. Insane. He also says, Paul says, listen to this. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. And we see the day is at hand. The Most High just showed us, look, I can end this any moment I feel like it. 3 events in one day. It's crazy. He says, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore what? Cast off the works of darkness. And let us put on the armor of what? Light. That means you're no longer walking in darkness. You're trying and you're striving to be as holy, to be as set apart as you can, keeping your flesh and your body in subjection, because you don't want to get caught up out there. It could easily happen. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and in envying. But put ye on the Lord Yeshua Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. What does that mean to make provision for the flesh? When you making provisions, what does that mean? You setting things aside to make sure that you have this moving forward. Scriptures is telling us, don't do that for your flesh. Don't leave anything lingering so you can come back to it later. That's what it's talking about. Don't make no provisions for the flesh. Don't give your flesh no leeway. Because if you let it, it's gonna take you. This is why it's a fight. It's a battle. And the closer we get to our salvation, the harder it's going to be. The more access we're going to have to sin is going to be more accessible. It's going to be more in your face. But you got to be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. You have to. It's upon you. Refer back to your training. All of these lessons that we go through, that we've been taught all throughout the years by the elders. Refer back to your training, because you're going to need it now. It's not training anymore. It's now time to put it on. And everybody, and I want to say this as well too, like everybody young and old, especially for the younger generation who's in school and pursuing these careers and working a job and have hopes of retiring, right? Understand that we gonna need you. When I say we, I'm talking about the church. We gonna need y'all to start expanding your skills as far as survival. And when I say survival, I'm talking about things that you need to survive from day to day. Because in the near future, you're not gonna need a keyboard and a mouse to sustain you. That's gonna be almost irrelevant. A keyboard and a mouse is not going to help you build a house. A keyboard and a mouse is not going to help you learn how to hunt, fish, how to make water, how to get clean water, how to plant, how to sew. These are the essential skills that we're going to actually need, that this world is really not preparing us for. These 9 to 5, a lot of these jobs, these positions are not training us, especially in education and school, not really showing us how to do these things. Yeah, but we're going to always need doctors. We're going to always need nurses. Okay, these are professions that we're going to need amongst our people. We're definitely going to need those, right? Well, we're going to need carpenters. We're going to need construction workers. We're going to need electricians. We're going to need land cultivators. So for the younger generations, start looking into these areas. Start using your free time to learn a skill, because we're going to need y'all. Okay? We're going to need y'all. We need each other. But it's high time for us to wake out of sleep, brothers and sisters. We see our salvation. We see it coming. It's here. And the Most High is just showing us day by day. Right? He's showing us day by day. He's confirming us through prophecy. And like I said, what's happening on the earth right now is not a light thing. And we about to go into elections. Elections is right around the corner. Just keep your eyes open for what's happening. And like I kept saying this already, refer back to your training. Right? And I pray that everybody was listening to the elders or your local leadership when they were saying like, yo, start putting away things. Right? Stop spending for no reason. Right? Start saving up some more. Start buying some things, essential things that you need, because now we gonna need these things. Right? All praises be to the Most High. And I cannot forget this. Look at this. Speaking of apparel, look at my shirt. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother Asher out in Florida, who sent me this. Look at this. I got so much Hebrew apparel. I got so much clothing. I don't even need to buy clothes anymore. Look at this. Look at this, brothers. Look at this. The Hebrew flag of truth. Look at this. The fringes on, everything. Look at this. All praises be to the Most High. My brother Asher out in Florida, he sent me this. Right? And if you guys want to support the brother, right, I'm going to put a link. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put a link to his website in the chat so you guys could cop. It's judahclothing.com. I'm going to put a link in the chat so you guys could have it real quick. Give me 1 second. judahclothing.com. So you guys see the link on this on in the chat. I'll pin it to the chat so that way you guys could go and check him out and support our brother with his clothing line. Beautiful clothing. Him and his son, they designed these things. So I'll praise the Most High for that, right? So we gonna need y'all, brothers and sisters. We need each other. And like I said, our salvation is nearer than when we first believed. Clap it up for the Most High. Praise the Most High that we got eyes to see, ears to hear. Listen, don't let this world rock you back to sleep. Don't. All right? Listen, we see the things unfolding. We see what's happening in the world. And like I said, my advice to those of you who are on the fence, my advice for those of you who are on the fence and don't know what to believe, where to lean towards, who to trust, who to listen to, listen, follow Christ. All right? And not just follow Christ. If you come into the church, follow the men that the Most High put in position to lead you to Christ. Like Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am a follower of Christ. And I highly doubted that any man or any brother in position in this church is not following Christ. If a brother was not following Christ, I wouldn't expect you to follow him. But if every brother in this church, and especially if part of leadership, are following Christ, do what Paul said. Be followers of that brother as he is a follower of Christ. Understand that these leaders, these shepherds, we're there to watch over your souls. Now the question is all upon you if you want your soul to be watched upon. And you basically could tell us by how you act and what you say. Just always question that. Always question and ask yourself, does this person have my best interest at heart? Is this person leading me to Christ? And if the answer is yes, if this person is leading you to Christ, if this person is following Christ, be obedient. Right? For all of the leaders care for your soul. Right? I'm telling you, at the end of all this, we're going to be a place of refuge for the world. I wholeheartedly believe that. Right? And I'm not going to go into too much details of how I know that for sure, but I 100% believe that with my whole being. All right? A lot of us will be a refuge for a lot of people in this world. I guarantee you. But we got to stay the course. Right? Have faith. Believe. Don't fear. Fear is not of the Most High. Doubt is not of the Most High. Right? Anxiety is not of the Most High. But love is. It says, perfect love casteth off all fear. Right? So all praises be to the Most High. I just wanted to share this broadcast with y'all. And it was, like I said, it wasn't going to be long, but it was going to be informative. Man, I really appreciate you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for hitting that like button and share this broadcast with your friends and family and let them know what time we on. Right? We see the times. So it's upon us to be watchmen for our communities, for the people that we meet, if it be the Most High's will, to sound that alarm. So brothers and sisters, it's been fun. This is my time, right? I hope and pray that you all have a blessed rest of your day, right? Tomorrow we going into Friday, which is the Sabbath prep. And Most High willing, hopefully I see you all at the Shabbat. Well, not all of you, but those who I congregate with, I'll see you at the Shabbat. And if you are coming to the Shabbat, come with the spirit of joy, right? To want to change, to want to help, to want to learn, and to want to remain. All right? It's not time to go back in the world. Like I said, you never seen someone in a race start running forward and then about face and then run the opposite way in a race. It doesn't work like that. We all race. We're all racing to obtain that prize. All right. So all praise be to the Most High. Peace and blessings. Shalom, bless you all. And this is the Born Levi Experience on GOCC Media, and I am out. Most High willing, I'll see y'all next week. Keep your eyes open. Eyes open. Watch and pray. Shalom. Bless you all.